In this lesson, we are going to learn how to find the surface area of pyramids. A pyramid is a shape that has one base. It's 3D and has one base, and the other faces are triangles. And the triangle faces always come to a point. This is called a triangular pyramid. Its name, the pyramid's name, is determined by which shape the base is. This is a triangular base, so it's called a triangular pyramid. It has a triangle for the base and then 3 triangles for the faces around the base that come to a point. The next one is rectangular or square pyramid. So you might have a square on the bottom where all the sides are the same sizes, and then 4 triangles that come up to a point. Same with the rectangular pyramid. A rectangular would be the base shape, and 4 triangles come up to make a point. Also, there could be a pentagonal pyramid or hexagonal pyramid where the pentagon or hexagon is on the base and the triangles go around the sides and come up to a point. So on the pentagonal pyramid, there would, for each of the sides of the base, there are triangles that come up to a point. So if there's a base that has 5 sides, then you're going to have 5 triangles that come around and come up to a point. For the hexagonal pyramid, since the hexagon has 6 sides for the base, then there are going to be 6 triangles. The square or rectangular pyramid has 4 sides to the base, so there'll be 4 triangles that come up to a point. The triangular pyramid has 3 sides to the base, so there will be 3 triangles that come up to a point. All right, we are going to start solving some surface area problems of pyramids, and just follow along on your paper. We're going to do example 1, and we are going to solve a square pyramid surface area problem. So a square is the base. So we are going to first find the area of the base, which is a square. So the bottom, again, my dogs are going to be barking in the background. So the bottom or the base is a square. So I'm just going to write that. And then I'm going to look and see what clues I have. And I see that one of the sides is 7. So if it's a square, that means all the sides around it are 7. So the area of a square is side squared, or side times side, length times width. So my area would be 7 times 7, which would be 49 inches squared. So inches squared. Oops, just a sec. All right, now we just have to find the area of all the triangles that go around the side of the square pyramid. And see how they come to a point? So they're all the same height. So if they give you the height of one of the triangles, you can use them for all the triangles. So, and I see the height is 10 inches. So I'm going to use that for all the triangles. And the great thing about a square pyramid is all the triangles have the same exact bases, the same exact height. So if you find the area of one triangle, we can use it for all of the triangles. All right, so I'm going to just make sure I know my sides. Since I have 4 sides to the square, I have 4 triangles that go around and come up to a point. All right, remember that the area of a triangle equals 1/2 the base times the height. So we know the base is 7, and it looks like the height is 10, and then we need to take 1/2 of that. So I'm going to write in the base that is 7 times the height that is 10, and then we're going to have to multiply that together and then multiply it by 1/2. So 7 times 10 is 70, and 1/2 of 70 would be 35. So on my calculator, if I wanted to use 0.5 for 1/2, that might be easy to put in a calculator. So 0.5 times 7 times 10 would give you 35. So then I can just write, and those are inches squared. So I can then write, since all the triangles, all the bases are the same, they'll all be 7 and the height will all be 10. So all my area of my triangles on each side will be 35 inches squared. So now I can just add up 49 plus 35 plus 35 plus 35 plus 35, and that will be my total surface area for my square pyramid. The base of the square, the area of the square, plus the area of all four triangles around, and that will be, and you can figure that out too. All right, so if you add up all of your sides to the pyramid and your base, you should get 189 inches squared. And that would be the surface area for this pyramid. All right, example 2, we're going to find the surface area of a triangular pyramid. So we can see the triangle, this pyramid has a triangle as its base, so it's called a triangular pyramid. So we first need to find the area of the triangle at its base, and then the triangles going around the sides. This one's a little bit trickier because our triangles do not have the same base length. So we've got 5 on this side, 7 and 7. All right, let's start finding the area of the base triangle. And I see that they've given me a height, because I see this line right here, and that's the height. So I'm going to go down from the height and use this as the base, because the base and the height always have to be perpendicular to each other. All right, so we're going to use the area formula of a triangle, which is 1/2 times the base times the height. And so the base is a triangle, and each of the sides for this pyramid are going to be a triangle. All right, so the base, so 1/2 times the base of 5 times 8.4, which would be the height. All right, so do that on your calculator and we will see what we get. All right, I got 21, and that would be meters squared. Now let's go on to one of the sides. Well, the first side I'm going to do is this side right here. And it has a base of 5 and a height of 9. And it looks like all the triangles that go around this pyramid will have a height of 9. So we can use that same height. But for this triangle, I'm using a base of 5, height of 9. And I'm going to also use 1/2. So 1/2, the area of this triangle is 1/2 times the base, which is 5, and the height, which is 9. All right. Okay, so go ahead and calculate that. And I got 22.5, and that would also be meters squared. All right, so now I'm going to go to my next triangle, and I can see the base of this triangle is 7, and the other triangle in the back is also 7. So they will actually have the same base and the same height, because the height is still 9. So these are going to be identical triangles. So if I find one, I can use the same area for the other one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and write 1/2. The base is 7. Oops, and the height is 9. Same for this bottom triangle, the back triangle, 1/2 7 times 9. And I can also call, I forgot to label these, this I would call the back triangle. The one we found first, this one right here, I could have called the right one, and this one the left one. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and label this one. This I would call the right side triangle, and this one was kind of on the left, if you see that right here. So the left one and the back triangle are going to be exactly the same area, because they have the same base and the same height of 9. All right, let's do our calculations. So go ahead and do 1/2 times 7 times 9. All right, so hopefully you got the same thing I did. 1/2 times 7 times 9 is 31.5 meters squared, and 31.5 meters squared. Okay, I'll show you what my dogs are getting all worked up about. So, all right, Dexter's all mad because Haley's getting ready to go on a walk, so you can hear Dexter kind of getting all fussy outside. All right, back to our problem. So let's add up all our areas of the base and 3 of the triangle faces that come up to the point. So 21 plus 21.5 plus 31.5 plus 31.5 would be our total surface area, which is, all right, hopefully you got 106.5 meters squared for the area, for the surface area of this triangular pyramid. All right, hopefully you're starting to get the hang of finding the surface area of these different shapes. So we're again find the surface area of pyramid. This time it's a rectangular pyramid, which means the base is a rectangle. And we see that one of the sides is 6, one is 4.5. So it's not a square base, but a rectangular base. And then we'll have 4 triangles coming up to make a point. All right, so we need to find the area of 4 different faces, the base and 4 triangles. So let's start with the base. So I'm going to use right in the base, and that is a square. Of course, then we'll have 4 triangle sides. We can label the sides if we want to, but I'm going to go ahead and find the area of the base. So the area of the base is 6 times 4.5. It's a rectangle, so length times width, 6 times 4.5, and that is, all right, hopefully you got 27 centimeters squared for the base. All right, now we can look at, the great thing about a rectangular pyramid is that if this side is 6, this side is 6. So the triangles opposite each other will be the same exact area because they have the same base and the same height. So this triangle will match this triangle, and this has a base of 4.5 and a height of 9. So these 2 triangles will match. All right, see if you can calculate the area of this triangle, which will be the same as this one, and write it out in your spaces provided. Remember, the formula of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. I'm using 0.5 for 1/2. So 0.5 times the base of 4.5 and the height of 9 equals 20.25 centimeters squared. And I know the other triangle across from it is the same exact area. So I'm going to write that, duplicate that, and write it here. All right, so let's find the other triangle. So we want to now find this triangle, the triangle on the front here and the one opposite that. All right, so let's see if you can find the area of that triangle, and then we'll duplicate it because it's going to be the same as the triangle across from it. All right, so did you calculate 1/2, which is 0.5, times the base of 6 and the height of 9, because the height's the same for all of these triangles. All right, and then we can duplicate that because we know these 2 triangles are the same, just like the opposite triangles are the same for these. All right, so let's add all these up. So add all of your areas up, and that will be the surface area for this rectangular pyramid. All right, so hopefully you got 121.5 centimeters squared for the surface area of this rectangular pyramid. Problem 2 is a triangular pyramid. So we need to find the base triangle, the area of the base, then the area of the triangles, the 3 triangles that make up the other faces and come to a point. And I can see that all the sides of the base are the same, 6, 6, and 6. So it's an equilateral triangle, which means all the triangles that come to a point, all 3 of the other triangles are going to be the exact same measure. They're going to have a base of 6 and a height of 8. So this one's going to be fairly easy, but although the base triangle does have a different height, so the base is going to be different. So let's figure out the base first. So what's the area of the base? Well, we know the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So the area of the base is going to be 1/2 or 0.5 times the base, which is going to be 6, and the height right here is going to be 4. So 1/2 times 6 times 4, and I can write that in right here, 0.5 times 6 times 4. If you do that calculation, you should get 12 meters squared for the base. All right, so let's do our other triangle faces, and they're going to be the exact same. So if we find one, we can just duplicate them for the others. So let's go ahead and do this one here. The base is 6. I see that the height is right here, and it says 8. So base of 6, height of 8. So we can write in 0.5. That's 1/2. We're doing this formula. 1/2 times the base of 6 times the height of 8. All right, calculate that. And I know 6 times 8 is 48, times 1/2 is 24 meters squared. And I can just write that for the other 2 face triangles that come to a point. So this triangle right here and the back triangle are all base of 6 and height of 8. All right, so now let's just add all of these up, and we will have our surface area. All right, if you got 84 meters squared, you got this right. All right, last one. See if you can do this one on your own. You might not need all these spaces. I know I'm going to have it's a rectangular pyramid, so there's a rectangular for the base, and then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles that you're going to find the area for. And since it's a rectangle, I know that this side is the same as this side, so these 2 triangles right here are going to be the same. And this triangle has a base of 5, and so does this triangle in the back right here. So the 2 opposite triangles are going to be the same for each of the sides of the rectangle. So try this on your own. All right, did you get the same answer as I did, which was 174.5 meters squared? These 2 triangles would have been the same as these right here. So you just add them all up. So check your answers, see if you got the same, and that is it. So hopefully now you know how to find the surface area of pyramids.